Hey there, legendary souls. Welcome back to Unconventional Counseling. Ooh, this week. This week is something different. Most of y'all are empaths and super intuitive, and you've been feeling this week. You've been feeling this week coming for potentially months if you have your Saturn in Pisces, or if you have some strong Piscean placements, even if you have some placements in water signs and water signs or even earth signs, you've been feeling this particular eclipse season for quite some time. So I'm going to do quite a few videos this week just to be of extra support to you, and also because there have been so many downloads that I've had just from today alone. And something that I'm learning about my journey and my creative praxis and practice is that when I get the idea that day, if I have the energy, I get to follow up. I get to follow through that day. And it feels really good to implement something that I've been learning about myself and my creativity. So that is already the first download. There's something that you've been learning this Virgo season about your creativity, your spirituality, your intuition, about all of the Piscean things, about your mysticism, about your spiritual gifts, about your dreams, right? There's something very Piscean, very magical about you that you've been learning for quite some time. You've been getting glimpses of for quite some time. And this Virgo season, some new information, some new downloads, some new insights have been coming through that have kind of been, extra puzzle pieces to what you've known before. And this Pisces full moon eclipse week is the time to just choose the new thing. Choose to add that puzzle piece. Choose to follow through if you know that follow through is important for you. Choose to rest if you know that rest is very important to you. I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about my day, and then I have a quote for you. So today is a day off for me as I'm recording this, and I have Virgo energy. I have a Virgo moon and Virgo Mars, and I love my Virgo energy so much. Oh my gosh. And it's taken a long time to fall in love with it. And there are still times when I have a day off, like today, which I deem as I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can go anywhere. I can stay home, whatever I choose. Rest, work, play, anything. It's all allowed, is what I've allowed myself and what I've gifted to myself when I have a day off. And so today is a day off, and I decided to follow my intuition all day long. I did my movement, I did my Virgo routines in the morning. I came home, and in the back of my head, I was like, I want to record today. I want to make sure that I make time for my creativity. And I thought that I was going to do that during the day, and then I was going to rest for the rest of the day. That's what my mind wanted. My intuition does not live in my mind, and I know this, and I know that they sound different and they feel different. And so because I know this, and I had already decided to follow my intuition, I asked myself, self, what do you want? Do you want to record right now? And the answer I got was no. That's not what I want to do. I want to sit with my own tarot reading, because I've also learned about my creative process. I need to do my own work around the full moons. I need to do my own work around the new moons before I share, right? Something from my heart, something that spirit has landed on my heart for you all. I need to give to myself first. And so I did that for a little bit. And then when I was done, I asked myself, what do you want now? And that was time to draw myself a bath just during the day. Sometimes that shit is decadent and indulgent, and I love it. And so I drew myself a bath, and I was in the bath, and I was meditating, and I was like, wow, this is great. And then I asked myself, what do you want to do now? I wanted to lay down, and I wanted to watch TV. And I found a show. I've been watching a lot of TV. I love to watch TV, especially in the fall months and the winter months. And whenever I'm going through deep healing cycles, I'm watching movies, I'm going to the movies, I'm watching TV shows, I'm watching cartoons, whatever I need, and I can find it. is the thing. I can find a show that will be so healing for me. And I found one today. And it's called How to Die Alone, and it's on Hulu. I highly recommend. I highly recommend because the protagonist is a black femme, a fat black femme, and in her 30s, trying to figure it out. And the show is so uplifting, right? But it's not uplifting in a very superficial sort of way. It's uplifting in a very deep, suffering Piscean way. The dark comedy in this show is healing as fuck. So I recommend it. I recommend it. If you want to see somebody really try to live in this storyline that has been created in a way that feels so real and so visceral, I recommend this show. So I started watching these episodes, and I watched 4 of the episodes because 4 of the episodes are out right now. And I was like doing different things because I like to flow. I don't like to just do one routine thing. So I'm watching an episode and then I wanted to eat. So then I made some food and I'm eating, and then I'm watching another episode, and then, I had an idea of something, or I heard something in the show or from a commercial or whatever. And then I would start researching on my phone, right? And I would pause the TV. So I really allowed myself to flow. And maybe like 4 or 5 hours later, I had finished the 4 30-minute episodes. So I didn't make the rest rigid either, right? I let myself just do what I wanted. And so I'm watching this show. I'm enjoying the fuck out of it. I'm enjoying that I can just flow and do what I want. And I get to a certain episode, and I know that I'm clairaudient. I know that I hear things differently than sometimes they were intended. I hear them, they hit. I heard this quote on this show today, and I knew that it was guidance. I knew that I wanted to share it with you. This quote is, "Sometimes the things that weigh you down and slow you up are the things you need to take off." The things that slow you down, weigh you down, and slow you up are the things you need to take off. This is like, it is such a concise way to express an aspect of the spiritual journey, to express even how it works together, right? We go through periods where we are experiencing so much trauma, so much abuse, so much oppression. We go through periods when we're starting to heal. We're deeply starting to heal. And maybe our environment is now safe. Maybe our relationships are safer, right? But then in our heads and in our bodies, in our nervous systems, we're still activated and easily triggered and nervous. And sometimes it's surprising how often we're triggered, or the things that we're triggered by. And sometimes it's embarrassing and we don't know why it's happening. And we can get to these places where we are fully reliving every aspect, right? In the mind, in the body, in the nervous system, in the spirit, every aspect of the trauma that we've experienced. And it's so disorienting. And then our mind will tell us that we are not growing and we are not healing, because the mind has a concept of healing that is fully linear, because that's what the mind has been fed. And part of our spiritual journey is undoing and unlearning that shit, because grief is part of the healing journey. Being triggered at times quite easily and deeply and reliving trauma is part of the healing journey. Having times when you can't really sleep, having times when you sleep too much, having times when you're depressed, having times when you're anxious, having times when you're having mental health breaks is part of the healing journey. Having times when you are trying to make it work with the people in your life who were part of your trauma story is part of the healing journey. Having times when you close the door on people you thought were forever is part of your healing journey. Whether you do that for a season, for as long as you need, or for the rest of this existence and this incarnation, it is part of the healing journey. Every part of the human experience is part of the healing journey. And so this phrase, this quote, I really think speaks to that. You are never off of your spiritual journey. You are never off of your healing journey unless you tell yourself that you are. Literally, this shit is up here. Hear me. This shit is up here. So what can you do? What practical step can you take? If you're noticing that you're triggered very easily, if you're noticing that you're maybe in a space where you've been triggered for a while and now that feels like your reality. When you notice that you're in a depressive episode and that feels like your reality, like there's a part of you saying, I have always been this way, I've always felt this way, I am just a depressed person. Or when you're having panic attacks and anxiety attacks so often that your mind starts to tell you this has always been this way or this will be this way forever. I am just now an anxious person. What do you do? What do? You get into your body. So this is shit like baths, going for walks, moving your body, resting your body. And if you can rest your body, but you can't rest your mind, you read, or you play video games, or you draw, or you color. You do something that your inner child loved. And you connect to them because they need play regularly. Play is part of healing. Laughter and joy is part of healing. Being around people that you typically feel safe around is part of healing. Having breaks from the people that you typically feel safe around, and maybe even second guessing if they're still safe, is part of healing. All of it counts. When you said yes to Spirit, Spirit said yes to you, and they don't let go. So, to recap, the very exact things that feel like they are slowing you down and weighing you down, those things that you wish would just go away, those things that you wish that you could just heal through once and for all, one and done, and you never had to experience that again. It is part of your evolution. It is part of your takeoff. You might not be able to see that now. You might not even believe me right now. That's fine. Watch this video again in a few months. Watch this video again at the end of the week. Pisces is everything. Todo y más. Pisces is like everything, everywhere, all at once. Watch that movie if you have access to it, if you can find it. Watch things like The Matrix right now. Watch things like Inception right now. Watch things like this show I just mentioned, How to Die Alone. There's so much media that is so connected to this Piscean energy because Saturn is in Pisces. So there's so much music too that's connected to it. There's so many artists just in the past recent years who have, dropped albums and dropped songs about their Saturn return. Listen to that stuff, even if you're not going through a Saturn return right now, because Pisces and Saturn impacts all of us. It impacts us globally. It impacts us in the heart space. It impacts us in our dream space. Truly, what it is saying is that we are all connected, which is something that we were reminded of in quite visceral ways through the COVID pandemic, because that was Saturn in Aquarius. Respiratory, humanitarian aid. How can we band together for collective care? How can we put the power back in the hands of the people? How can we support the people in getting access to the things that they need? How can we make things more accessible? That's all Aquarius. And no, shit is not okay. But there are also a lot of organizations, there were a lot of individuals, there were a lot of communities and families and relationships that came together during that time and got to heal in tremendous ways, in ways that are beautiful and in ways that were painful. There were a lot of separations that happened during that time. Aquarius is the one who's going to go it alone if they need to. So if that happened as well during these past 4 years, know that too is part of your healing journey. It happened for me. And now I'm starting to see how it was for my highest good. Ooh. I have no question now, but I did question it for years because my Saturn is in Aquarius. And that was my journey to question, am I doing something wrong? That all of these people are falling away? Am I doing something wrong that all of these opportunities are just not coming to me in these ways? Or the ones that were here are leaving quickly? I'm starting shit and I can't finish it. Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn in Pisces is we are all connected so deeply. So deeply. However, something I've been learning about Saturn in Pisces is Pisces has this shadow tendency of being extremely passive because they're watery, because they know everything, because they're connected to all. And they'll say, well, you go first. You do that. I'll fit in where I can get in. Don't worry about me. Fuck that. This is your time to shine if you have Pisces placements. Even if you have Virgo placements, because they're complementary signs. They're in opposition to each other. They're very similar in a lot of ways. This is no longer the time to martyr yourself. This is the time to put yourself the fuck first. Any and everywhere that you can. And when you do, you reassess. How did that feel? Does it feel like I can do that again? Do I want to do that a little bit less or in a different way? How did it feel in the community that I'm in or with the people that I was interacting with? Did they affirm what I was doing? Did they feel hurt feelings but also be able to hold that I'm on a journey and I need to put myself first? Were they able to hold that duality with me? Can we still be in community even though I might need space or time to myself? Can I trust that those connections are safe? Are those connections safe? Or has something changed? Whether within you, most likely within you, or the clarity of realizing that that connection or those communities or that institution or those places are no longer in alignment for your highest timeline and your highest good. Everything you're calling in, everything that you want to manifest, everything that you said, you want the house, you want the family, you want the partners, you want the chosen family, you want the car, you want the travel, you want the money, you want the abundance, you want to release lack mindset, you want to have investments, you want to live this life that you've seen on Instagram. There's a part of you that believes that it's real. It is real. It is real. You're going to find out it's real. And you're going to find out through your own experience. It's real. Don't even get too hyped up about it because we don't need to get attached to any of this material shit. I'm going to do another video. I'm going to talk about that. We don't need to get attached to it. But yes, you can have it. But the thing is, you might need to go through some loss and you might need to have some sacrifice along the way. Because Pisces has lost everything in their lifetime. Sometimes even definitely before they've lived a whole life. They have lost everything. They have been able to grieve everything. The idea of things, the hope in things, the integrity of things. Pisces has seen betrayal on every single level. But you know what? You're not going to do anymore. If you choose to accept, you're not going to betray yourself anymore. If the vibe feels off, take a pause. Period. If the people or the place is for you, they will understand and they will be there when you're ready to return. If you choose to. Choose yourself. You only get one you. This message feels complete. I hope that it was everything you needed and more. And I'll catch y'all in the future. Bye.